important even just a couple of days working with Jaron Boots Ennis is going to be for Canelo, just to see a bit of the tempo, a bit of that switching of stance, because let's be honest, there's not many guys that Canelo has fought that have fought out of both stances and done it as fluidly as Boots Ennis or as Bud Crawford will do in their fight.
Bien, bien hecho. Bonita finta otra vez ahí. No se la cambia.
Crawford fight, not Crawford. I don't think Boots fight like Crawford at all. That was just I think the comparison they was making initially was just as they both were switch hitters and they both could be so naturally. That's really the only thing that they do the same.
The boxing world was shocked to hear that Canelo Alvarez has been sparring with Jaron Boots Ennis as he prepares to fight Terence Crawford.
Bien, bien, bien. Dando la cintura. Bien, bien hecho. Bonita finta otra vez ahí. No se la cambia. Ahí. Suavecito y remate. Al revés. Y remate. Suavecito y remate. Un pasito atrás y volvita. Anulado. ¿Cómo van aquí? Le levanta el tiro.
Many believe this shows how serious Canelo's camp is. Former champion Andre Durrell said it proves Canelo wants to be at his very best in September.
Camp with Canelo. I do believe this is get back on Crawford for not taking the fight with Boots back in 2024 when Boots called him out. But Crawford was on the bigger and better things, baby. That bigger and better things being Canelo Alvarez, September 13th, 2025. Bigger legacy, bigger name, bigger payday, bigger status. So, too little, too late, Boots. But I am looking forward to how you advance in your career after this, because this camp is definitely going to level you up, man. You're going to get better because of it in every aspect. Toughness, skill set, smarts. You're going to get a lot from this camp, champ. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you do because of it. You're already a bad man, dog. I want to see where you take it from here. But Crawford, it's over. I believe he walking away in the sunset, especially if he walk away with the victory, which I'm hoping for. But you, champ, you got to settle for something else. Get Canelo that work, man. He gonna need it. He gonna need it. According to Roy Jones, Canelo got to be on his A game. You got to be on yours too, man. We looking forward to seeing what you do after this. It's raining on me right now, so I'm gonna cut this short, baby. But Boots, get somebody else, champ. Get somebody else. I'm out.
Boxing Orbit shared a photo of Canelo sparring with Ennis, sparking huge reactions online. Trainer Greg Hackett said the choice was smart, not random. Crawford is known for his drive and adaptability, so sparring with Ennis helps Canelo prepare for that. Hackett explained that Ennis is not just another sparring partner, he's one of boxing's brightest young stars. Training with him forces Canelo to stay sharp every day. What some call a gimmick is actually a careful plan to avoid surprises on fight night.
I don't know, because there's things I know about camp and how they want things to go. So is it going to be that way? Is y'all gonna try to alter the camp, or is y'all gonna let them go, or I mean, is y'all looking to still?
Give me the psychology behind both sides. What does Jaron Ennis get from this? What does Canelo Alvarez get from this?
I mean, Jaron Ennis get from it being in with the elite, a guy who's prepared for everything. One thing you can't say about Canelo is that he hasn't seen something. Canelo's seen southpaws, he's seen tall guys, short guys, slick fighters, he's seen bulls, he's been up against everything. So you get a world of experience with with a guy like Canelo. You get a guy who's in full confidence with a guy like Canelo. So with that type of boxing, I would see Canelo really not worried about so much of what Boots trying to do to him, but really just paying attention to him. But then it's the same, like, I don't know, I can see Boots kind of like, I think the mindset for Boots would be not only to prove I can hang, but to also be trying to see what would come with this shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I don't think I would do that. I don't know. It's just me. I just think the only reason I say that because I think Boots can get that fight. I think Boots can end up in a fight with Canelo. And I'm saying that because, you know, the reason I say I wouldn't do it is because I wouldn't spar you and then here go a year later they fighting. Nah,
I mean, that's for as much as it does for Canelo, it does for Boots though, right? If that were to be the case.
Yeah, but there's so many ways it could go. And what I'm saying is, if I was to be where Boots is right now, if one thing we can all agree on, everybody hate Boots right now. They mad at Boots, right?
Jose Benavidez Sr. dismissed the hype, saying sparring doesn't win fights. The real test is on fight night. He added that fans read too much into sparring choices, forgetting they are only preparation tools. No matter who Canelo trains with, Crawford is still a unique challenge.
We're not even like thinking about it anymore, and you were just like, you know, Canelo is slipping and stuff like that. Does it make you kind of rethink Canelo and that Crawford fight to be like, well, he's really taking it serious to bring in a guy like Jaron Ennis?
Well, like I said, you know, I don't really focus on that. You know, we stay in our lane, you know, and try to get better ourselves. And whatever they do, whatever they decide to bring in or whatever, you know, I'm pretty sure they have a plan. But I don't really focus on what other people do. We focus on what we do in order to get better ourselves. Because we do have a lot of things that we need to fix and get better at. So my respects to whatever they do or whatever they're doing, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, I think it's a good thing, but we don't really focus on that, you know, what other people do. You know, like I said, we gotta get better at our craft.
Boxer Brian Norman gave a different view, saying Ennis doesn't really fight like Crawford. They may look similar physically and both hit hard, but their styles are very different. Crawford switches stances and sets traps, while Ennis is more aggressive. Norman warned that while sparring with Ennis will test Canelo, it won't fully prepare him for Crawford's style.
I mean, I think it's good work. Crawford, I don't think Crawford fight. Not Crawford. I don't think Boots fight like Crawford at all. That was just I think the comparison that they was making initially was just as they both were switch hitters and they both could be so naturally. That's really the only thing that they do the same. They don't do anything else the same, literally. So I never understood the comparison in that myself. But I think it's still a good look because all work is good work and you want the best work. You feel what I'm saying? So if Jaron Ennis is supposed to be the best work, even though he was a 47-pounder and not going up to 54, which is the same thing that Crawford was. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I do think that Boots getting a lot of unnecessary backlash about doing it, though. I don't agree with the backlash you're getting about, you know what I'm saying, going to spar, getting that paycheck, getting that experience, because I think he needed it anyway. I always talk trash about him. I always stand in Philly, hide in Philly. You don't want to go outside to spar. You don't want to go outside to do nothing else. So in this case right here, I think it's well needed for his career. It's needed for the building of a fighter. You know what I'm saying? You got to go out. You got to go in certain different types of territories and, you know, places and get that kind of work. So, I mean, I think Boots getting a lot of unnecessary criticism. And if I'm defending him, you know it's real. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's getting a lot of unnecessary criticism, talking about sellout and all of that. That's some bullshit. Like,
Analyst Ade Oladipo reminded fans that Canelo is no longer in his prime. He said Canelo's best performance was in 2018 against Golovkin, and while still great, he hasn't looked the same since. That raises the question, can sparring with Ennis make up for the gap between today's Canelo and Crawford at his peak?
I don't think that Crawford is fighting the best Canelo anymore. Again, the Canelo I'm talking about, I mean, second Golovkin fight, I thought was fucking incredible. That was, when was that? That feels like a long time ago. Second Golovkin fight was 2018. So I'm saying peak Canelo, although still very, very good people, peak Canelo for me was 6 years ago. It's a long time, or 5.5 years. That's a long time. In fact, exactly 15th of September. So it'll be to the day 5 years. Have I got them? What was I talking about? Sorry, almost 7 years ago. Jeez, that's a long time ago. Where some might say peak Crawford was Errol. So, shit, I didn't realize how long ago that was. And he's clearly not that same guy anymore. It clearly isn't. He's no longer fighting elite fighters. I mean, unless you're going to say William Skull was elite, Edgar Berlanga, no, Munguia, no, Jamel, no, John Ryder, no, the third Golovkin fight, no. So he's no longer fighting the best, but he still is very good, and he's still a top 168 pounder. And I think this is why people are saying it is a 50-50 fight now, because we can see the deterioration in Canelo. Like, say what you want about William Skull. Canelo looked poor in that fight as well. Everyone's like, oh, William Skull ran. Well, Canelo didn't cut off the exits. Canelo wasn't great himself. Canelo's punch output was horrendous. So we can clearly see the deterioration. That said, he is the naturally bigger guy. I just mentioned the fact that Crawford's put on size, but the naturally bigger guy in this weight class is Canelo. That has to count for something. We know Canelo's been able to absorb punches from the naturally bigger guys. I mean, barely anyone's put a dent in this guy, right? That's how good his chin is. Maybe the best chin in boxing. It's frightening. But the legs have slowed down. The output has slowed down as well. And I always think about, with Canelo, desire and want and will. I always sort of say, where is that desire?
Other analysts say sparring with Ennis is still very valuable. Ennis brings speed, angles, and non-stop pressure, things few boxers can copy in training. Even if he doesn't fight exactly like Crawford, working with him sharpens Canelo's reflexes, timing, and mental strength. They say this type of hard preparation is what separates great fighters from average ones.
That means that he did get work. That's what that means to me. That's what you need. I don't want Canelo in camp beating up nobody. I want people beating up on him. I want people putting in that work, giving him looks he ain't seen. That's what's going to make him ready for Crawford. I don't want to see smiling Canelo. I don't want to see Canelo happy. That means he did good the first time they sparred. No, I want him frustrated and angry. That's how it's supposed to be. Bring somebody in camp, they give you that work. Even Mayweather talked about how Earl Spence gave him that work when he was trying to get him ready for a fight. Because by the end of the camp, Canelo will be the one smiling.
Deep, dramatic boxing announcer voice, heavy tone, steady steed, full of suspense and adrenaline, like a fight promo. Commentator Johnny Ortiz praised the move, calling Ennis the closest thing to Crawford Canelo could find. He also said the deal benefits Ennis, who gains experience by training with a champion like Canelo. Ortiz believes the partnership is rare, smart, and helpful for both fighters.
Makes sense, and it's definitely a good experience for both. Eddie Reynoso and Canelo, shout out to them, because now it shows that they serious with a real game plan, and Boots is, to me, everybody's a perfect opponent. I wouldn't say opponent, perfect sparring partner to have to replicate Crawford, because they both switch hitters and stuff like that, and they got dog in them, and reflexes for sure. So it shows Canelo serious, and on Boots' end, to be able to spar a Hall of Famer, top tier guy, it gave him great experience, and you could tell he really wants it.
Been seeing mixed reviews. You got a portion of the fans that are just shocked that this happened. You got a portion of the fans that's like, yay, Canelo now has the edge. Those will be Canelo fans, and you got Terence Crawford fans that I'm seeing calling him a traitor. You know, you already know the other word.
Yeah, it's a difference between a fans. There's Terence Crawford fans, which is cool. Then there's a Terence Crawford, I call them bud clowns, where all of a sudden they want to act like Dr. Umar and shit. They want to be fake woke. Like, woke for what? Like, it's a sport where Boots is getting an opportunity to spar a Hall of Famer. Who cares? And in reality, what the fuck loyalty does Boots owe to Crawford when it comes to the sport of boxing? I mean, Crawford didn't do shit even back while Boots was trying to get his opportunity when it was Spence and Crawford. Every time Boots' name got mentioned, you heard the bud clowns be like, oh yeah, he don't deserve it. Oh, who did he fight? Oh, who this and that, man? I ain't trying to hear that shit. It's like it's different shit that you need to be woke up outside of boxing. Boxing is a sport. There's shit that we need to really come together. I didn't see y'all come together like 5 years. The bud clowns, because it's real fans. The bud clowns is bashing PBC.